It's very complicated, isn't it? French and stuff. So yeah. So, I know. Just do a quick photograph here, then before we start, and then we can do your job, as it were. Fill the frame, yeah. Well, Captain Fawcett really is a kind of an amalgamation between many of those Victorian explorers. I mean, totally ridiculous, really. I mean, these guys would be surrounded by 5,000 irate people that are about wanting to try and kill them, and they'd say, look at each other. There'd be 5 of them there, and there'd be thousands of people, and they'd look at each other and say, hey, looks like we might be on a bit of a sticky wicket here. We've got a little bit of a problem here. Would you pass me the last Haribo or whatever it was in those days, Jelly Baby or something like that? My name's Richard Finney, and I'm known as the Right-Hand Man, and I'm behind a brand called Captain Fawcett. So one of our trademarks is keeping a stiff upper lip regardless, which is really maintaining your composure. Prima. Yeah, nothing off the end. When you get to my age, you need all the length you can get. What is it? When everything else around you is going completely tits up. We know now these days, of course, you know, with the advent of people being more and more aware of and sympathetic to mental health problems, that actually keeping a stiff upper lip regardless, i.e. maintaining composure, is not always the best route. And if you do have any worries, it's better to share and talk about them. But the whole concept of Captain Fawcett comes from that time and period when men quite often, well, nearly always, had facial hair, if not a moustache. Did anyone tell you that? Did I tell you the story? I repeat one. When I was in with the Russian guy having his beard in the New York barbershop in Rotterdam again. What do you say to your wife when you go on these trips? Bye-bye. Hey! Hey! Brilliant. What am I doing now? It's a very interesting story. I'm actually part of the Great Expedition. What I'm doing is I'm visiting 24 countries, visiting distributors and shops that sell my products, and even shops that don't sell my products. It's a kind of a bit of a world tour. But I'm doing it on a motorcycle. I've divided it into 3 legs. First leg was Spain, which I've done already. And now at the moment I'm obviously in Oslo, Norway. Thank you very much indeed for your hospitality. But I've come via Rotterdam, Amsterdam, Hamburg, Denmark, Copenhagen, Gothenburg, and then I go tomorrow on to Stockholm, then Helsinki, and then Tallinn, Riga, Vilnius, Poznan in Poland, Berlin. Anyway, it's a long trip.
Did you start with beard oil first?
No, I started with moustache wax first because I made it for myself. So it wasn't, I had no idea to do this. I just literally made moustache wax in my kitchen. The story really about how Captain Fawcett moustache wax started is really quite a simple one. This is not a recent affectation. I've been waxing my moustache now for more than 30 years. And I used to work in the movie industry. My job was a boom operator. So I'd work with the microphones and be putting radio mics on a little bit like I've got here now. And I met my wife. And my wife is a very well-known, well, she's just retired after 44 years, but a very well-known hair and makeup designer and artist. She even got the Emmy for doing Downton Abbey, for instance. Anyway, I used to make my own moustache wax in a little tin on the stove, and I'd make 6 pots. And those 6 pots would last me for a year. I'd put them in those little plastic film, 35mm film. And when they broke or got dirty, I'd throw them away. Then literally one day my wife said to me, can I take some of your moustache wax to work? Because the products we have on set are really not fit for purpose. It'd be great, for the girls, traditionally it's makeup artists, were women, for the girls to have them in their floor bags. So I bought 100 empty jars on eBay, and then I filled them. I made a very amateur label. Most important thing, that the wax was good, the label was diabolical. And that was really the beginning. So then a friend of mine approached me And he said, listen, I like your idea. It's got some legs. Do you want to take it further? Now, he's a designer. He then designed the label, and still to this day, 14 years later, still designs all the products, all the packaging, absolutely everything, all the artwork, the Fawcett Times, the whole dang caboodle, really. Now, interestingly enough, his wife is an aromatherapist. Now, this was really right at the beginning, 14 years ago. Beard oils were only just coming out. We were one of the first, you know, with moustache waxes, etc. Although there had been companies previously. So he said, you know, these beards, maybe my wife should make some beard oil. And we still make, today, Captain Fawcett still makes all the moustache waxes, all the beard oils and beard balms in our factory, as it were, at Fawcett HQ, the famed Emporium. Yeah. I mean, have a smell first, see if you like it. Okay. Go, you play it.
You're the captain.
Okay. And this here, look here. We've got even in here, keeping a stiff upper quiff regardless. That's one of our perfumes there. That was yours, wasn't it? Excuse me. Cool. Well, fragrance is particularly important for our products. Now, fragrance is a very personal thing. What works for somebody may not work on somebody else, and we can do with your pheromones and things. But we, with our original beard oils, of course, we're using all natural fragrances, essential oils, which indeed can create a problem because essential oil fragrances can change to do with the harvest, to do with whether it's been a hot summer or in fact some countries can't produce because there's a drought. So fragrance from essential oils, it can really be up and down. But then we started working with the top perfumer in the UK, absolute top. He's made perfumes for the Queen, he's made perfumes for the Sultan of Oman. He has a perfume now that sells in Harrods, I think it's something like £800 a bottle. So we then went into developing eau de parfums and fragrances, which are well known. The Maharaja, for instance, won second place niche fragrance in the world. I mean, that's absolutely incredible from such a small company, and we are still a small company that makes a lot of noise. But then I started using the fragrances back into our product. So our hair pomades are using our original Fougere fragrance. So I think fragrance is particularly important. And I think with a company, if you're starting a brand, it's very important to do ultimately what you like and what floats your boat, because then it's not difficult. It may not work for everybody, but you cannot be everything to everybody. It's far better to have a truth and authenticity about what you do. And if you like it, some people will like it and some people won't like it, but there we are, that's life. I'm Richard Finney from Captain Fawcett. This is part of my 24-country world tour, and I'm actually here now in Oslo as guests of Pel Pel Barbershop. I'm having a really great time. The local beard club came out. I won't pronounce the name because I can't pronounce the name. They came out and we've had a really fantastic afternoon. Oslo, you rock.